The This Kingdom podcast. In this episode, we'll be kind of following on from a topic which was recently brought up on the Disney Unplugged Walt Disney World edition, where the guys were talking about some of the issues that are going on in Walt Disney World with being quiet. Now, luckily, as I've got Victoria here, she's actually sat now in Main Street in Walt Disney World. So it's a rainy day. So that whole idea of how busy is it? Very busy by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, I think it has something to do with the fact that it's raining today too, but it really hasn't been busy this summer for us.
I mean, they've been bringing in major discounts for the restaurants, 30% off. They've been bringing in discounts for hotels, and gradually a lot of people have been putting that down to the idea of putting off coming because of all the construction.
Oh, yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And personally, I just think it's because of tiered ticketing pricing. I think that's kind of making them suffer.
It makes you wonder though, because the idea of tiered structuring is the fact that only really goes up and down. The busy days are when they charge more, and when it's more quiet, it will be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I think it was more so of a way to control attendance, but I mean, I don't think it's working.
No. I mean, it's that idea really of, I mean, obviously you've only been living there for a while, but you did your Disney programs. On a general, on your trips, are you finding it quieter than you were expecting?
Actually, yes. Like, I mean, you get the normal, tour groups and cheerleading groups and things like that, but it's honestly, it hasn't been, like, I've only had one busy day since I moved here, and I've been here for almost 3 months.
And obviously as well, you did the Disney program as well, so you've lived down in Orlando before. Is it busier than it was back then, or quieter, I should say?
It's actually quieter.
Which, on one hand, as a visitor going, the idea of being quieter is good because I've been in there. I've been in there on busy days. We made the mistake as a British person of going there on Thanksgiving and not really knowing what it was like, and it was mental. But the idea of all these discounts kind of goes against what they've been doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been personally a little bit shocked about the discounts that they've been putting out, but I mean, they're kind of putting them out a little late because I mean, it's almost time for the children to go back to school.
Yeah, I mean, the big issue as well is not necessarily just like what's going on with Disney. The price has been going up. I mean, just in general, when we've been looking at some prices for our friends and family, and it's unsurprisingly they come to us for advice when they're kind of going, kind of thing. So when we're going through it all, they are surprised at how much it's cost. I mean, we get lots of discounts and stuff, but obviously, as well, like the international markets, Europe, especially British. We have, and Brazil's been the same. Our economies have suffered, and now, years later, and a little bit later on, people aren't going the same.
Yeah, I'm definitely almost positive. With the impact with Brexit and all that stuff, definitely has a big impact on. As far as international, I can definitely see a difference in visitors coming still, like a big difference. Like I don't see as many international people coming into the parks.
And the thing is as well is, and this is that kind of difference as well, I feel like from an international tourist, is our money's not going as far, right? So therefore now we're looking at budgets, we're looking at keeping the costs down. So, you are looking, instead of whereas before you might have gone and, we'll go in that restaurant or we're going there. Now it's like, well, no, we'll eat off site, or no, we'll take sandwiches, or no, instead of the main meal, sit down and go to a takeaway kind of a fast food thing. And the fact that the restaurants are having to give away 30% discounts on even in the height of the summer says to me that this is this is affecting a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just mainly because it is getting so expensive. Even with discounts, it's still pretty expensive for an average family to vacation here. Even when you're coming from overseas, it's getting a little bit more pricier than what you get.
But also there is the other side of things. Has the word got out that because of all the construction that's going on, are people putting off vacations? The whole thing that we were talking about, the excitement of E23 Expo, it actually can also run the other way. Maybe less so for international tourists, but local tourists and people nearby if you're thinking that the parks, oh, we'll go down in a year, we'll go down next year when Toy Story Land opens, or we'll go in 2 years when Star Wars Land is opening, rather than this summer.
Well, no, actually, I have heard a lot of people canceling their vacations because Magic Kingdom doesn't have a nighttime parade, just solely because it does not have a nighttime parade. A lot of people have canceled their vacations. A lot of people won't go to studios. It's just so much construction going on. So that is definitely taking an impact on people's decisions to vacation there too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like from an international point of view, if an attraction or something's down, it doesn't really affect it too much because you're spending so much, so you want to make that. It's timing and money is one attraction, so it might be a little bit down. But the idea that I would not be at all surprised if people went, oh, we're not going yet because of Star Wars. I want to see Star Wars Land. We'll wait. I know 2 years ago, it was we were waiting for the Disneyland Paris 25th anniversary. It was the 24th year, and I sort of literally turned around and goes, "Nah, just a load of construction. We won't go this year." And something so flippant can make it, and it must be having an impact with the amount of discounts Disney are doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that actually impact people's decisions to come. Time of year, prices, weather, just so many things. So it could really just be all of that just coming all
Yeah.
at Disney at once.
Well, this is it. I mean, the effect of the economy of places, obviously, from my point of view, from being British, our economy on a general scale, everything's going up and it's costing. But even just like looking at the ticket price between a 2017 and a 2018 ticket, there's a 50, £60 price difference between a weekly ticket. The flights difference, our spending money is drastically changed from how much we used to be able to bring.
That's also true. I mean, you can kind of understand that situation. Well, it's just a lot of factors, and I mean, they announced so much stuff at D23, and at the end of the day, it's like, how are you gonna continue to bring these people? And especially with everything that's happening at studios, for example, they're about to only have like 5 attractions, not
Yeah.
including shows, and I don't think that's gonna be enough.
I mean, I find it very strange from, if I'm going to be going there for a 2-week vacation and Hollywood Studios, half of it's closed, or, as a, you're there, well, we're going for 2 weeks, you can do the other stuff. But if you're only there for a few days, especially if you're domestic, you are maybe going, oh, we'll go somewhere else. And maybe as well, the magic is worn off because everyone, if people aren't returning, that maybe we'll go every year. They go, oh, no, there's too much going on down there.
Yeah, I know several people basically won't even go to studios right now because there really isn't anything bringing them in. Like, the other day I went and I stayed for maybe 3 hours max because I finished everything I wanted to do in 3 hours and I was done.
I must admit, we were saying this about, because I said, well, there's still a lot there to do, if you go maybe in the afternoon and in the evening and you see the shows and you do the rides. But the idea of getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning and being there till 8, 9 o'clock, there's just not enough there to do anymore. But you would think in some ways that Pandora would have been an attraction, but I don't think Pandora has the branding that works.
I mean, Pandora's still doing decently. I won't say it's doing great, but it's doing decently. It's still bringing in like decent crowds, but not enough to, make it a big thing.
And also, Avatar I don't think it's a strong brand right now. It's not. In a few years' time, it's going to be great to have it there, but that was not going to be the big draw to get everybody in this year.
Oh no. I mean, I feel like that was supposed to be, but once they get everything together with the next 2 sequels, I think it'll gradually speed up.
Yeah, it's funny because you put out this tweet the other day about like Brazilian tourists and the tour groups and stuff that go there. Now, like you said, you're finding less tourists there, but obviously British make up maybe only a small percentage, but every single country adds up in the long run.
Oh yes, that's true.
And the other question as well is, has all the stuff that's happened at Disneyland, the 60th anniversary, D23, does it pull Disney fans to that side of the fence rather than to Disney World?
Oh, that is a good question. it's honestly very possible. I didn't even think about that.
No, ironically, I was going to be going to Disneyland this oncoming, in September, but we cancelled because simply put it was going to cost us too much money after we booked. The price of everything had gone up, the prices of everything had got to the point, and we had to cancel. And cost was a major instance. So I am a prime example of someone that was maybe not Disney World, but I was going to go to a Disney park this year. That was the plan. We'd even booked our flights, but we had to cancel them because the costs got out of changed, and so we decided to put back and go somewhere next year instead. So hopefully we'll go next year, but we had to cancel, and I wonder how other people are going to do it. Maybe being first hand, I can kind of go, well, I've done it myself.
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard many stories of like similar to yours with my friends overseas. So we had I have a friend who's a single mother who lives overseas in Britain, and she was originally going to come this year too, but she had to push it back to next year just because of cost.
Yeah,
So it's very hard.
and it's funny as well because Disney have been they've been upcharging, and maybe that's that thing of this little pushback. No, you've sent out the wrong signal for too long.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I understand why, but I feel like it's really not. I mean, it's really not great. Like out of all the upcharges I've seen, the only thing I've really thought was good was the Tiana's Riverboat Party, which is worth the money. All the other ones weren't really worth the money that people were paying.
No. I always feel like there's that difference again between Disneyland and Walt Disney World, where those kind of events appeal to quite often regulars and locals. Whereas if you're going, it's like for me, if I'm going and I've got a 14-day pass, I'm not going to pay again to go into the park and anything. I'm going once for Halloween, but you've already paid for it and you've already got access for it. So you're like, well, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But it's the interesting thing for me is this discount on food, because at peak season to be doing discounts, maybe they've got too many restaurants because I don't know, maybe they misread the situation.
I mean, it's possible. Like in this business, it's all about trial and error. So you just gotta try it, see if it works. If it doesn't, you either modify it or toss it. If it works, then you keep going with it.
Ironically, I was only just reading before we went and recorded that, but over at Volcano Bay, they completely slashed half the fancy stuff off their menus. Now, there's a lot of people going, oh, that's great, that was the stuff we went for. It might be great on the menu, but if people aren't buying it and they're throwing more away, it has to go.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I saw that. And then they only added, I think, about four things to their menu.
It's like, yeah, great. So you get rid of all the nice, but then again, it's supply and demand. And, if they're feeling the pinch, Universal have been growing and growing and growing. And I hope Volcano Bay continues to do so. But it's just odd hearing about, discounts at your peak season generally are a bit odd. That's just a very odd thing to be doing.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign that they're kind of hurting right now. Which, if you walk into the parks, you can tell it is. Like today, I barely waited for anything.
Yeah. And also, as well as that, I think it affects your restaurants more because, I'm a prime example. We will go in there, but we do not do table service or go into the restaurants because, simply put, food is so expensive and our money's not going as far. And that's a luxury that you don't need.
Oh yeah, I agree. I feel like they were trying different things like with the mobile order and just trying to get people to branch out to more restaurants on property. But it's still expensive to eat here.
Yeah, this is the thing, there's a difference between taking I was talking to my friend, and he said, like, last time they went, they were on a dining plan where they were in a luxury, they were on the deluxe one, so they had all their table services, and they did everything. This time, they were going next time, they are staying off-site in a villa, they're having breakfast in their villas, maybe snack, they'll buy some basic stuff. They are not going into all those restaurants. And there is a prime example of, a family that completely changed how they were last time. They ate in restaurants, every single night. Now they won't.
Yeah, and that's a big deal because a lot of people come to Disney, because they see all this great stuff like Dole Whips and Be Our Guest restaurant, but now it's just getting so expensive for people that they'd rather just stay off site, they'd rather just eat off site, they'd rather bring their own food. And it's really hitting Disney hard.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to be something that's going to be a continuing trend because, you know, I think Disney, on one hand, they want to upcharge and they want to get more people, less people at the park but spending more. But maybe it went a little bit too far. And maybe once Star Wars Land, all of this problem will go away.
I personally feel like the issue is they were trying to upcharge to and appeal to a certain demographic of people who make a certain amount of money a
Yeah,
year.
yeah, and that's that kind of thing. Are there enough for them? But then I mean, obviously, international guests are one thing, domestic are another. There is a difference in what they spend and stuff. But just from first hand, my sister-in-law, she's going out. They're getting married in a couple of months, and they're going to be going out to Florida, and they're going out to Disney World. And again, they've said the same thing to me. Like they've told me before, they're all going to be doing it on the cheap. They're just tickets are costing so much, they want to get the most for the bang for their buck.
Exactly.
But no, but let us know your thoughts on what's going on. Is there an issue? Is it yourself? Have you got your own reason why you're doing something different? Let us know. I think this is going to be maybe a trend that we do in future. Anything else you want to add on that one, Victoria?
Nope, I think that's it.
On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Victoria, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter, and he calls me PP, and Instagram, he calls me Pineapple Princess.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Later.
Bye.